The rain hammered against the windshield like 1,000 desperate fingers as Marcus gripped the steering wheel tighter, his knuckles white against the worn leather. In the backseat, his daughters, 8-year-old Emma and 6-year-old Lily, sang along to a crackling radio, their innocent voices a stark contrast to the storm raging outside. He hadn't planned on this route home, but construction had forced him down this desolate stretch of highway, and now all he wanted was to get his girls home safe. That's when he saw her. A figure stumbled along the shoulder of the road, drenched and limping, one arm wrapped around her ribs. Marcus's foot hit the brake instinctively, even as every true crime podcast he'd ever listened to screamed warnings in his head. But there was something about the way she moved, desperate, hurt, real, that cut through his caution. "Daddy, is that lady okay?" Emma's song died on her lips as she pressed her face against the window. Marcus pulled onto the shoulder, his hazard lights blinking weakly against the deluge. "Stay in the car, girls. Lock the doors behind me." He grabbed the emergency poncho from under his seat and stepped out into the storm. The woman looked up as he approached, and Marcus's breath caught. Her face was a canvas of pain, a cut above her eyebrow leaked blood that mixed with rain, her designer dress was torn and muddy, and her bare feet were bloody from walking on gravel. But it was her eyes that stopped him. They held a mixture of fear and relief so profound it made his chest ache. "Please," she gasped, her voice barely audible over the storm. "My car, it went off the road about a mile back. I need," she swayed, and Marcus lunged forward, catching her before she collapsed. "I've got you," he said firmly, draping the poncho over her shoulders. "Can you walk to my car?" She nodded, leaning heavily against him as they made their way to his beat-up Honda Civic. Emma had already unlocked the door, and Lily was holding out her favorite stuffed rabbit. "For you," Lily said solemnly as the woman collapsed into the front seat. "Hoppy makes everything better." The woman stared at the worn toy, and something cracked in her expression. Tears mixed with the rain on her face as she accepted it with trembling hands. "Thank you, sweetheart." Marcus cranked up the heat and pulled back onto the highway. "I'm taking you to County Memorial. It's about 20 minutes from here." "No." The woman's panic was immediate and visceral. "No hospitals. Please. I can't explain, but I can't go there." Every responsible instinct told Marcus this was wrong, but he saw genuine terror in her eyes. He made a decision that would have made his late wife shake her head in that loving, exasperated way she had. "Okay. No hospital. But you need medical attention. I'm a paramedic, well, I was before I went back to driving trucks. Let me at least look at those injuries." He pulled into a gas station, its fluorescent lights harsh against the darkness. In the bathroom, with Emma standing guard outside and Lily holding the first aid kit, Marcus assessed the damage. Bruised ribs, a concussion risk, cuts and scrapes, serious but not life-threatening. "What's your name?" he asked gently as he cleaned the cut on her forehead. She hesitated. "Victoria." "Just Victoria." "Okay, just Victoria. I'm Marcus. Those are my girls, Emma and Lily. We're going to take you home with us tonight, get you cleaned up and rested. Tomorrow, we figure out next steps. Deal?" Victoria stared at him like he'd spoken a foreign language. "You're taking me home. You don't know me. I could be dangerous. You could be someone who needs help," Marcus interrupted. "That's all I need to know." The drive to Marcus's modest rental house was quiet. Except for Lily's constant chatter about Hoppy's adventures and Emma's more thoughtful questions about whether Victoria liked mac and cheese, because that's what they were having for dinner. The house was small, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, furniture from thrift stores and Craigslist. Marcus saw Victoria take it all in as he unlocked the door, the stack of unpaid bills on the counter, the girl's artwork covering the fridge, the hole in the couch cushion that he kept meaning to fix. "It's not much," he said, suddenly self-conscious. "But it's home. It's beautiful," Victoria whispered, and she meant it. Over the next 3 days, something extraordinary unfolded. Victoria slept in Marcus's room while he took the couch. She wore his old t-shirts and watched as this single father performed the daily miracle of raising 2 daughters alone, making lunches, checking homework, braiding hair with the concentration of a surgeon, all while juggling double shifts to keep the lights on. She learned that his wife Sarah had died 2 years ago from cancer, leaving him drowning in medical debt. She discovered that Emma wanted to be a veterinarian but they couldn't afford the school trip to the zoo. She found out that Lily had nightmares about losing her daddy too, and that Marcus sat with her every single night until she fell back asleep, no matter how exhausted he was. And the girls, they shared everything with their new friend Victoria. They showed her their school projects, taught her their hand-clapping games, and told her all about their mommy who was now an angel. "Daddy says mommy sent you to us," Lily confided on the third night, crawling into Victoria's lap with the ease of a child who'd never learned to fear. "Because you needed saving and we needed to remember how to save people." Victoria's throat closed up. She'd been running when Marcus found her, running from her family, from their expectations, from the suffocating weight of being Victoria Ashford, heir to the Ashford Industries fortune. She'd taken her car for a drive to clear her head, lost control on the wet road, and walked away from everything. She'd been ready to disappear. But this man and his daughters had done something her wealth never could. They'd made her feel human again. On the fourth morning, Victoria knew she couldn't hide forever. She borrowed Marcus's phone and made a call. Within an hour, 3 black SUVs pulled up to the modest house. Marcus's face went pale as men in suits emerged, followed by a woman Victoria introduced as her attorney. "Marcus, there's something I need to tell you." She explained who she really was, watched his expression shift from confusion to shock to something that looked like betrayal. "You're Victoria Ashford, the billionaire's daughter who's been all over the news." "I was running away," she said quietly. "From my family, from my life, from everything. And then you found me. You and your beautiful girls reminded me what actually matters." She turned to her attorney. "The papers." The woman handed her a folder. Victoria's hands shook as she gave it to Marcus. "This is a trust fund, for Emma and Lily's education, all the way through college and beyond. This is a check to clear your debts. And this," she pulled out another document, "is a job offer. Ashford Industries needs a new director of corporate community outreach. Someone who understands what real kindness looks like. The salary is substantial, the hours are flexible, and it comes with full benefits." Marcus stared at the papers, tears streaming down his face. "I didn't help you for money." "I know," Victoria said, her own voice breaking. "That's exactly why you deserve it. You saw someone in trouble and you helped. No questions, no expectations, just pure human decency. That's rarer than you think. Rarer than any fortune I'll ever inherit." Emma and Lily burst through the door, wrapping their arms around Victoria's legs. "Do you have to go?" Emma asked. "I do, sweetheart. But I'll visit. And you'll visit me. We're family now." She looked at Marcus. "If that's okay with your dad." Marcus pulled all 4 of them into a hug, and for the first time since Sarah died, he felt like maybe, just maybe, everything was going to be okay. As Victoria's convoy pulled away an hour later, Lily waved Hoppy's paw from the window. "Daddy, did we really save her?" Marcus smiled, watching the tail lights disappear. "I think, baby girl, she saved us right back."